But we do need more freedom of choice. People can make those choices, and too often they abuse that outright. And the other thing that has pushed costs up, at least in many states, I'm sure even in this state by now, and certainly in Texas, and that is when the mandates come down from the federal government that we provide free medical care for all illegal aliens. I mean, what does that do? Some of our hospitals have actually had to close. And they say, well, we do this for humanitarian purposes. Well, how does that help anybody? If the hospitals are closed and nobody gets the health care, you know, that doesn't help anybody. The immigration problem is high on the agenda. I think everybody in this country is concerned about it. There are debates about it. But one thing is if you subsidize something, you're going to get more of it. And we have been subsidizing illegal immigration. We have encouraged it by saying that you can get in front of the line in due time. If you wait long enough, you're going to get automatic citizenship through amnesty. And if you have a baby here, become a citizen. And in the meantime, you can have free medical care and free education. And you can get food stamps, you can get on Social Security, and all these things. No wonder it happens. And in spite, and now, as the economy weakens, it becomes a much greater threat. You know, if we had a truly free, thriving economy, I don't think the problem would exist. I think there would be a lot more tolerance. There would be a need for workers. They could come, they could come legally, and it would work out. But today, it's a whole mess. About the campaign and the rallies that we have is it's brought a lot of people together, and they're different, and they love one thing: they love freedom. Maybe for a different reason. It might be their religious freedom and their homeschooling. It might be for some other reason they just want to be left alone. It might be that you'd like to spend your own money like you'd like to. It's interesting that people will come together and they'll have a lot of disagreements, but they don't fight about it. It's just that you're allowed to use your own life and your own money as you see fit. And if we would just quit, you know, telling other countries how to live, we all would have a lot more money to spend here at home. So the Constitution brings us all together because we're striving for one thing. But the opposite, socialism and welfarism, does the opposite because the government gets control of everything. And eventually the pie starts to shrink, and that's what we're facing today. When we were very wealthy, people didn't complain that much if they thought they were getting their fair share back. But today people are realizing that they're not getting their fair share back. The young people certainly know this. This is why they sort of get excited when I say, if you get my program, we'll get you out of Social Security and let you take care of yourself. Less productive, and as our jobs go overseas because of our mistakes that we make, and when the government has all this control and they look at it, we send more aggressive individuals to Washington. The lobbyists become more aggressive than ever, and they become very nervous because they see the pie is shrinking, and it becomes very, very competitive. And that's why I expect a lot of competition, a lot of unhappiness right now. It can be a generational competition. It could be, you know, the rich versus the poor and the middle class being squeezed. And that is why we have to get back to the basics. We have to be producing once again. And you can't do that without free markets and sound money. We can't do that by not working and borrowing $800 billion a year to make up for our shortfall. This just doesn't happen. Eventually they give up on us. And that, of course, is what's happening. They're not buying our treasury bills like they used to. And this is why the dollar is going down. And this is a sign that it's coming to an end. It's also a sign that we better get busy and do our job.